I don't, who's that? I don't even know who the iPhone is, so. But really, I guess it doesn't matter. So treasurer's report, all good. Gary's not here, so no secretary report. Brian,
Nothing. I mean, it's the dinner we had.
Yeah.
It was riveting.
yeah,
Right.
we had our Area J president and president-elect dinner monthly, so Brian got to go to his first one and
Yay.
good food, good fellowship. It was, yeah,
Only 18 more of those, Brian.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm looking really forward to it, and we gotta liven it up just a little bit, but it was good, you
yeah.
know?
Hubs Pizza,
What's that?
was it Hubs?
Was
No,
that
Kathleen has him at her house now.
Oh.
Yeah, so
So the zone has a regular meeting?
our area, yeah,
Just with.
Or area?
yeah, yeah.
Not the zone.
Not the zone, yeah. Community services, Rochelle is on a plane to Paris, good for her.
No, I'm not. I'm the iPhone.
Oh, you're the iPhone.
I'm the iPhone. I'll be on the plane tomorrow to Paris.
Oh, okay, well,
Yes.
Right.
Okay, so community service and PR lumped into one. A million thank yous to Raquel and John Spencer and Jeff for hosting the holiday party last weekend. I was totally devastated to miss it, but I've heard lots of great things about it. Would love more feedback on it. Got some great photos. I'll be posting them to Facebook. And I'm super appreciative of everyone that showed up in ugly sweater, participated in the murder, and brought a white elephant gift. And then also, if you RSVP'd, please make sure that you paid, even if you didn't attend, because we did commit the money from Rotary for your spot. So it would be great if everybody paid Lori.
perfect,
You were missed so much.
yeah.
Thank you. I was so bummed.
Yeah, I think my opening, I think I had, I was on mute, so you couldn't hear me, but just, everybody had a great time.
Oh, good.
Yeah, there was lots of murder. I know that was your key, so, but
I
It
feel
was-
like you're a true leader to be able to have it be pulled off without your presence.
Yeah.
as Well,
Thank you. They were great, a great company to work with. And again, Raquel and Jeff and everyone, and of course, John Spencer being the host, really did a fabulous job.
thanks,
eat a croissant for us.
yeah.
I'll eat 25 croissants for you.
Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I'm getting there. I have an
Okay.
appointment today for a final clearance, and then I am out of here.
Just go.
Go, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
call me if you need.
I've got a purse full of antibiotics, and I'm heading to Europe.
All right,
Your lady
thanks.
says you can go.
Chris Vallow not here for international membership. Raquel, anything?
We're doing good. We're just continuing. Rochelle and I are working a lot together just to help kind of liven up the group and create more togetherness. So we're working on it. After the first year, we're really hitting it hard.
Perfect. All right, thank you. Kristen's not here. Lance is not here. Kendra is not online. Rand is not here. There's our reports. So, did I skip you? Yes, I did.
Twice now.
No, I skipped Rochelle twice too, so I'm like,
Is that final?
you're right on the break of the page, so I just could zoom right past you guys, sorry.
So cards went out, to Chris's family and, Steinbricks. And then, I sent a card to, Johanna because her brother, I have not had an update. I don't know where they're at, but I just said, whatever you need, we're here. Sending you all the love and support, etc. So that they know that if they need something here. I'll send if Joyce, when you let me know when Joyce gets home, and I'll do something for Joyce too. I want to make sure that she knows that that support is continuing there. And we are reserved, like I said, for next Friday after Christmas at the Buzz Inn, that has been reserved for the little room, so.
Okay.
you guys-
It'd be 2 in a row, so.
Yeah, they would
They
not
won't,
let me
okay.
do after the first because their calendar didn't go that far. So
Okay.
I have to call in the next week and make sure that that's on there.
Okay.
Other than that, if anybody knows of anybody who needs, card or support, please let me know and we'll get that to you right away.
Is John Spencer doing okay?
His back hurts.
Yeah, he had back surgery.
He did.
Yeah.
Prior
What?
to.
John Spencer.
Do we need to send a get well card to him?
I feel like we should.
Probably.
because
Yeah, y'all, people need to tell me this.
Wow. I didn't think about it because he was at the party.
Yeah.
Participating, so. Yeah.
Which I'm so bummed about.
Yeah, so-
John Spencer?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take care of that. Thank you.
All right, let's brush through our Sergeant Arms and Happy Buck stuff and drawing real quick and then.
Oh.
Hey.
Kind of out of practice. All right, neighbor, he's sick. I'm gonna have you pick up the red ticket.
Tell us your name.
Hudson, all right. And read the last 3 numbers out loud, please. Wrong line. Sorry, go ahead.
686.
That's definitely wrong.
Try it again, dude. Not even
Was it upside down?
didn't have numbers.
Paul, did you win?
Oh, I might have put mine in there.
You have numbers?
Yeah, I do now.
I don't have numbers either, Lori. Rig,
Yeah, I put some no number ones in there.
686?
Go again.
Must be present to win.
well, it couldn't be mine because I don't have numbers.
Oh,
You gotta look.
Yeah.
I'm
I didn't know
sorry.
either.
Must not be.
686. I was looking at my tickets wrong. That is me.
Oh.
Yeah. Gotta add the odds there.
That's what happened. I gotta pick up the stuff.
Oh, it's all right.
What do I get for an M?
You, it's a dose.
Winner, winner.
Tell us, Lori, what he has won.
No, I think I might be slightly ahead. I'll talk to my CPA. See if I know the timeline not to check. What's that?
I didn't have to pay out the kid that touched your ticket last.
He's sick.
Yeah.
Encourage your behavior of sick kids being in school.
I think he rigged the.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to our online crew here. We'll start with Rochelle. Are you happy?
I'm super happy. Happy for the party last weekend. That was so fun. I'm happy about that. I'm happy to be heading out on vacation and happy to be here.
You're gonna join us on Friday from Paris in the evening?
I might. Paris is opposite time, so just depends on how much wine's involved.
That's okay. Have fun.
Thank you.
Mr. President.
Just happy, went to my first Kraken game last night. It was great and, hope to be grandpa ×2 on Saturday. So
Did the Kraken win?
the Kraken kick butt.
Kraken kick butt.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Great.
All right.
Yeah.
Soon to be new member.
Yes, and I'm happy because I became a grandfather again. Last Tuesday at 9:57.
Something in the
Mom
water.
and baby are doing great.
One of your local daughters?
Yes, she's one that lives in Newcastle.
Okay.
So we went down there she got home on Friday morning. We went down Friday afternoon and spent the weekend and Monday, came back Monday. And then Wednesday, my daughter from Canada came down and she's there at the moment, so being taken care of.
Yes.
Everything's great. Couldn't be happy.
Tracy?
Yes, couple happy dollars. I'm short run here, but yesterday was the first Thursday since October that I did not work.
Nice.
Last night I saw, the play Back to the Future at Paramount.
You did?
It was awesome.
Really?
It was so
Good.
great. It was great. No, no.
So I thought the same thing, and we went to New York last spring break and saw it there, and I was like blown away. Yeah.
Good.
Miss Amy Lou.
Miss Amy Lou, thank you. I will not be at any more meetings until next year, and I'm just reflecting a little bit, and my dad taught me kind of daily goals or yearly goals is like happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. So I'm like thankful for all of those things in my life, and I'm just about a year and a half sober and feeling happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Thank you.
Got the final president.
I have a couple thoughts. I'm just happy it's Friday and I'm excited for the Christmas holiday. And we had a really awesome BNI party last night. And for those of you who follow me on Facebook, I actually saw, I've lived here 36 years. I've never seen them tow a plane across the 526 bridge until last night. And Tom was like, look. And I was like, oh, and so you pulled over illegally while we were, this is why they don't do it during the day. And I was like, oh, I felt like such a kid, but it was the coolest thing. So, yay. So I'm so happy it's a holiday. I'm grateful for all of you, and my life is full of wonderful humans and just feel really blessed.
Christine?
Happy it's Friday, happy it's Pilates day, and I'm excited that I'm having a little Christmas party tomorrow. Oh, not tomorrow, on Saturday, so it'll be my first. Oh, yeah. it's Friday. Yes.
When you were retired, you have 6
It all just-
Saturdays.
Yeah.
I know, really. Holiday type things since Greg died. I feel like I'm in a good place to be able to get.
Good.
Giving your phone.
I am just super happy. My son came home yesterday safely through the Vegas airport that he sat in for 6 hours. He almost missed his flight, learned a lesson there. He literally was the last person. Ran up right, so we're closing the door. A lot and make it. Just, stress mom out. Right? But no, they did, my daughter picked them up, they had a blast, so it's just, and I felt really blessed yesterday. They called me like, you want to meet for lunch? I'm like, yep. So I went and had lunch with my 2 kids and sat across from them and just happiness. It's really cool blessing.
Just a few days ago, you were holding me in your arms.
Yeah. Yep, pretty much.
Well, I'm happy and sad. There's a 20 to make up for it, but I'm heading south on Monday. And looking forward to 4 months.
Wow.
And so I'll miss you all for 4 months. I'll be on the screen. And but
Hopefully figure that out by the time you-
kids and grandkids for Christmas, so that'll be nice.
The new place in Arizona.
You know, looking forward to seeing it.
He says very sadly.
We had the landscaping finished while we were gone. It was interesting watching it come together on a camera.
Yeah, sure.
It'll be nice to be out there. Gonna really miss you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Jordan's squeaky shoes just made me happy. You can hear him. Happy to be here, happy it's Friday. I get to take part in a CrossFit competition tomorrow, so. If anybody, it's a fundraiser for the food bank actually at the Loop Fitness, so if anybody wants to come and laugh at me.
What time?
To come, I don't know, it's heats all day long, so I think I go at 8:50 in the morning, so it's like from 8 in the morning until like 2 o'clock.
Is like a standard competition, like wherever you go, it's gonna be the same things?
No,
Oh.
it's like an in-house one, so
Oh.
only the Loop is doing it. Yeah, my wife and I are partners for it, so it'll be
Cool,
interesting.
fun.
Yeah.
Don't hurt your back, Anthony.
I'm gonna try not to hurt my back.
Knock on wood.
Be careful.
Look forward to hearing the results next week.
Yeah.
I want a big W, like a pink medal.
I'm gonna Venmo some dollars. I've missed you guys for the last couple weeks, probably been about a month. I've been, not feeling very good, so I'm feeling good enough to be here today. I'm willing myself here. Eileen actually is super sweet. She called to check on me. So other than the fact that she sends cards and things like that, she actually went out of her way and called to see if I was okay and took me to lunch this week, which was super sweet. And I finally broke down and went to the doctor the day after that and found out I have an ulcer, which is why I haven't been feeling very good. So I'm on the mend now. I'm pumped full of meds and going to the Caribbean.
That'll heal you.
I'll be like Rochelle. I'm just gonna shove a bunch of medication down my gullet and get on a plane and go somewhere.
A fine for wearing slippers to,
No,
Oh,
no,
way.
these are not.
Yeah, those are like 100.
I was gonna say.
Uggs.
I
It
think
doesn't
they're
matter how much
good.
Crocs cost, they're still Crocs.
They are not. There is a big.
No, no, I'm making a comparison. It doesn't matter how good I say my Crocs are, they're still Crocs, they're still slippers. But they look great, great looking slippers.
Thank you.
Come to that. Buzz in.
So, you have one job and that's to bring the warm weather.
Promise, I will try my hardest. Yes, I will try my hardest.
Thank you, thank you.
Looks like you're happy.
Yeah, $3 because my 3 kids are finally healthy and hopefully ready for awesome Christmas and they can make it healthy for another couple of weeks.
Are you ready for Christmas?
Yeah, we just finished Christmas shopping yesterday, so thank God.
You happy?
3 months.
How about you? Give you a cup.
Are you gonna go to school? Are you gonna go to school?
Ladies,
that
was a hint.
I am happy because Hudson drew my number. I am happy because I won the pot. I am which I forgot my name tag, but she only had enough cash to give me $120, so there's an extra 60 in the kitty. And I'm also happy because next Thursday is our Fall Trail Life Award Ceremony.
Nice.
And it's really cool. It's the end of the first season, but since high schoolers we have here, middle, what grade is that? 7th grade. How old does that make you guys? All right, so when you guys are ready, and anybody who has boys like 13 and up, we are growing what's called the Adventurer Program. We're a new troop, so we just have a few older boys. But this spring and next summer, I'm kind of pulling out as troop master, and 100% is about boys your age being able to get out and do some stuff that none of your friends are going to be coming back to school talking about. So I'm very happy about all of that.
Thank you.
Go Army.
Have to say, so happy bucks. Early Christmas present last weekend, our daughter Brooke and son-in-law Ryan took us to see John Legend. We did dinner. He is amazing concert. Yesterday morning, we attended the Real Heroes Red Cross breakfast at Layla. Great event, real good, feel good thing when you leave. We have everything on the table there. And then last night, we went to the Snohomish County Fire Academy graduation. And our district here, Snohomish Regional Fire and Rescue, has 11 new wonderful firefighters. We should be really, really proud of just wonderful young men and women, new firefighters that we're going to put on the line after they do their EMT. So we're really blessed. We have the most graduates of any of the Snohomish County fire departments.
Where did they hold it?
Yeah, this one was up at Stanwood, the new Stanwood High School, which is, you ever been there? It's pretty amazing. I got lost big time. Yeah, it was a good day.
Awesome. What was those new?
Yeah.
Boots, as we call them.
Super happy we get to watch my favorite Christmas movie tonight, which is Trapped in Paradise. If you've never watched it, you should. It has John Lovitz, Nicolas Cage, and what's the guy from Saturday Night Live that did the the turtle, you know what I mean, the
Dana Carvey.
turtle. So watch that, it is hilarious.
Trapped in Paradise.
It's called Tropic Thunder.
Trapped in Paradise, oh, not Tropical Thunder, you can't, that is a racist movie and you can't watch it, so.
It's not a Christmas movie.
Listen, I had an argument with the kid that Die Hard wasn't a Christmas, I'm like, it absolutely is a Christmas movie. It is, I can't, and it's no good to argue with the kid, because they're just wrong all the time.
But if the kid's smart and you're right, they'll just eventually get there.
It's amazing how much you learn in those 7 years. Are you happy?
I am.
All right. Lori, you have.
So, I celebrated a birthday, even though my president didn't recognize it.
I did last week. You weren't here. You slept in, sorry.
And, big thank you to Chris Vallow. He has been on call for taking care of Dad, a lot lately. And Dad's been great. Because that would be my role, then I sure should.
So Angie and I had a lot of fun at the murder mystery party last week, so it was a lot of fun. Dog was Joyce, we want to make sure she gets healthy well. Glad to see Marty again.
All right.
Mr. President.
Thanks, James. All right, Marty, you ready?
Sure.
All right.
Right.
And Rochelle, we can't share it because Gary has the passcode, so sorry. You can listen. Well, no, because I logged in as a guest. Yeah.
So good morning, everyone. Glad to be back. My name is Marty Pease with the La Conner Rotary and involved in the International Project Alliance. Yeah, and so one of my, so the International Project Alliance, which some of you probably don't know, stands for International Project, I just said that, didn't I? It is early in the morning for me. I am usually up by now, but not functioning. So anyway, it's a group of clubs working together in an area in Western Honduras. The green and blue is Honduras, and we're about 5 miles from the Guatemalan border, serving Mayan villages surrounding the town of Copan. And one of my jobs that I love to do actually for the IPA is to go visit all our member clubs and give an annual update on what we're up to. So I'm back to see you. It's been at least a year, I think. We were trying to figure that out, how long ago it's been.
Year May.
A year, this coming May, so it's only past May, so it's been a year and a half. Okay. So first thing, we're 10 years old, which is just amazing. So I want to go, we have 2 slides of major timeframes of over that 10 years, but 10 years ago, 5 clubs got together and created the IPA. They were all Skagit County clubs at that time, and working together with the club in Copan Ruanas, which is the central town that we stay in and stuff and work around it. And then in 2015, we started the Adopt a School. So each of the, we're active in about 39 villages, and each village has an elementary school, kindergarten, and the school sponsor supports those 2 schools. Costs $15 a year for kindergartner and $22 for an elementary school kid. And your club supports Rio Almarillo, Yellow River, is what that means. And so I was actually there in November and visited that school. It's a very small school and village. There's maybe 15 homes in the village. Usually the village is around average 50 homes. It's very small. But the school is definitely, the kids that are there are definitely engaged. And then we launched Adopt a Dream, which is, I will say a little bit more about later, but it is a one-on-one sponsorship with a middle school, high school, or university student. And it costs $200 a year to support a middle school or high school child. And a couple of you are involved in that. We support a library. We have a student health fund. Any of the kids that come from our villages, we support their health care. And then in 2017, we hired 2 contractors. Mauricio and Cynthia, which are invaluable. Mauricio oversees construction and Cynthia oversees our other programs. And without them, we would be lost. And they're also really sweet people. I'll say a little bit more about rapid development next. And then we became a 501c3. And then in 20 to 24, the area has been hit with two major disasters. And there were two major hurricanes in November of 2020, a week apart, and they just devastated the area. Peter Martin is the founder of the IPA. He and I were going to go down maiden trip after COVID, right, in November. Fortunately, we canceled the flights because we would never have made it. The airport was under 8 feet of water. It was pretty bad. Yeah, so we ended up going in February of 21 instead. And then I don't know why you put your major pipe to your water system in a stream, but the town of Copan lost all its water with a flash flood. So they have been hit with disasters, and then COVID. Some of the families, they could not leave their home. They could leave their home once every 15 days. And they kept track of it by social security number, and they would arrest people and put them in jail. And so people, of course, couldn't make any money. So we supported some of the families that we were the closest to. So they've just been really hit. And then in 21, we launched Adopt a Village. We have a lot of adopters. And we have 21 of the villages. So 18 are under Adopt a School. The other 21 are under Adopt a Village. And sponsors wanted a closer relationship. So those sponsors support the school. They put 5 kids through, the promise to put at least 5 kids through middle school. They contribute to construction projects. So it's been a huge success. And then in 22, Peter was acknowledged by Rotary International with the Service Above Self Award. And to me, that is a big deal. Number one, the man deserves it. He puts an amazing amount of work into this program. And then secondly, to get some recognition at the Rotary International level. I think this is an amazing program. I think it's unique to Rotary in the sense of how many clubs involved and how long we've worked together and the variety of projects that we do. So I think that's cool. And then I'll say a little bit more about the last one in a moment. So these are the member clubs at this point. So in Snohomish, we have Stanwood and then also Monroe. Marysville and Arlington already have their own international projects. Who else is in the area? And then the Everett clubs, Everett also, the main Everett club has their big project they do, I believe. So in some of the other Everett's clubs, we would love to get involved. So if you want to help us get the word out to the other Snohomish clubs, that would be great. Well, we do hit, so we hit Island County, San Juan County, Skagit, and Whatcom, which is pretty cool. All right, so the Rapid Development Program is what we calling our Economic Quality of Life program. We started with 3 villages, added 2, and then we added 6 about 3 or 4 years ago. And it's based on a program out of Switzerland where they have a history of bringing villages out of poverty within 3 years. And we just followed their model. Most of the villages are pretty much done with the program. And we've learned a lot. We've had some successes and we've had some failures. The successes, the 2 main ones, the village savings and loan, the villagers really appreciated learning how to run a savings and loan well. And the villagers appreciated learning how to save and being able to access money if they needed it. So far, nobody's reneged on any of the loans. And we've gone through steps to make them legal entities in the country of Honduras. So that is something that we really want to figure out how we can train the other villages who are interested and how to really, because it really helps, serves the villagers very well to have a very good VSLA. So we're hoping to get that program spread out to other villages. And the other thing that was successful was the home gardens. We had a gentleman who was training in agricultural stuff of how to raise livestock, how to commercially raise a variety of crops, that kind of thing. But he also was teaching families how to prepare the soil, how to do a home garden with a variety of crops. We offered different fruit trees where they could trade fruit trees among themselves, fruits among themselves. And it's just turned out to be really, really appreciated. And some of the women made those into micro businesses. They sell their vegetables to their neighbors. One lady made her patch a whole cabbage patch and sells only cabbage. So that has just been a huge success. The area that has not gone well is getting businesses started in the villages. And we found that if it isn't something that if it's anything that where product needs to be moved, it doesn't work. It needs to be something that can, so like a little small store, we're successful in the villages. People who raise livestock, like chicken or pigs or things like that, where they could sell them to their neighbors was good. There was one lady who was making cheese, and while we had the agricultural guy, he's driving around to all these villages we're working with, he would sell the cheese for her. When he was done, the transportation was done of her cheese. And so she had nowhere to sell it, and to transport it to Copan just isn't gonna work. We did have it in the store in Copan, but no one knew the cheese was any different than the cheese sitting next to it, so she didn't really sell any. So getting businesses started in town, in the villages, was just really, we're disappointed on how not well that went. So earlier this year, the adults in the villages came to us and said, hey, you're sending our kids to trade school. How about sending us to trade school? And we're like, that's a damn good idea. Now, the trade schools themselves, there's none in Copan, and Santa Rita is a village about 6 miles away from Copan. There are 2 there. They're poorly run. They have no equipment. One of them embezzled from us. It's the only time money's been stolen from us. And so we haven't found a good trade school. We did recently find a really good one in Santa Rosa, which is 2 hours away. So we have sent a few already for welding and electrical work. We transport the adults to the school. They go 1 day a weekend for however many months. And already 3 of the electricians have been hired and are gainfully using their craft. So, and then this slide is about a district grant that we've received. And these are the trades, and we're hoping to get at least 47 students. And this includes transporting them to Santa Rosa, getting them lunch and paying for their tuitions to do these 6 careers. So we're really excited that this could be a really big key in helping these people earn a little bit of money. The other thing is things are moving really fast, starting a pilot. So having that trade school open a second school in Copan or Santa Rita, where our villagers can have much better access. We don't have to bus them for one, but they can have access, and it's really moving forward fast. So we may end up providing equipment for the school. We also recognize these people go through this training. They need to have something with which to do their craft. They need equipment. So we're working on figuring that part of it out, but it's just really exciting and maybe a way that we can really help the economic status of these villagers. So anyway, that's cool. That's what that's about. The other thing I like about this, so we're reaching a point where the infrastructure is in place. How much more construction projects are we going to be doing? And a lot of the other programs have kind of reached a completion. So what I love is that the evolution of the IPA, it's not stagnant. It changes all the time. An active need comes up and we address it. This being an example. This being another one, which I will pass this around. It's in Spanish, so. So we're encouraging these kids to go to school, right? They're in 6th grade. We're saying, hey, let's go to 7th grade. And they're like, okay. And then we will encourage them to go to high school. Do I go to high school? Do I go to a trade school? Okay, now I've done that. Do I go to university? What career do I choose? If you think about it, these kids, their parents had 2nd or 3rd grade education. They have no role model with which to make these decisions or someone to talk to, no mentor, right? So they go to Peter, these 6th and 7th graders, and say, we do not know how to do this. We don't know how to make these decisions. So Peter writes a book on how to access the sponsorships through the IPA, how to access the Student Health Fund. It also has some sex education in there. It also says, hey, if you're making these career choices, these are things to think about. This is the value of staying in school and being educated. It's really a small handbook. We've printed about 900 copies. in August and distributed them. So it's another thing that we're gonna have to pay to sustain. But it's another example of them coming to us and saying, we need help. And this is how we're doing it. When I was there in November, one kid said, yeah, I've read that book 3 times. So, and another kid said, "Hey, in your book, it says," I'm like, okay. So, it's been very well received. And that's just, again, it's just an example of how the program is evolving. All right, then Adopt a Dream. So Adopt a Dream, we started in 2017. It is an area where we struggle all the time. These stats are as of October. After the November trip, it all changes. We find out very many new students, who's going to school, who's not. So these are probably not accurate at this point, but it gives you the breakdown of how many kids are going to the different educational levels. And then we have 78 students not sponsored. And this is just a deficit that we have had the entire time. And what happens with those 78, we do have a general pool where you can just put, if somebody doesn't really care about having an individual student assigned to them, they can just put money into the pool. That covers some of that other 78. If we don't, we're not going to tell a child you can't go to school because we don't have the money. So that if we come up short, it comes out of our general fund. So it's a problem we've just been struggling with. We're trying to come up with some creative solutions. But how can you help? So in preparing, how many members are in your club? 53. 4 of you, either members, families, or friends, sponsor a student. We, in the process of preparing this year's updates, 5 out of the 14 clubs, 50% or more of the members support a student. If we could get the other 9 clubs at 50%, spending $200 a year, we would not have this deficit. So that's partly my message. It's not about guilt tripping anybody, shaming anybody. It's just saying, help. So that's the story on that. And then I'll go back to that. So, and then the other thing I would strongly encourage is someone to go. And no one from this club has been, I don't believe. And you guys, it just, myself, I went for the first time in 2016, said, okay, been there, done that, don't need to go back. And I don't know, June will be my 15th trip. So, okay. I mean, I love to go. One, life is a little simpler. It's beautiful. And to see what we're doing. It's so I just, and I think it just really helps bring it alive. And it's not me just standing here once a year showing you pictures or non-pictures as the case may be. But it really makes it, it's just so you see it yourself. So I encourage it. The 2 main trips are November and February. The beginning of school year is in February and the end is November. So the trips are wrapped around the school year. So anyway.
What are the trips you said?
One is, the next one is in February, the first 2 weeks in February. And it costs about, if you fly economy, it costs about $2,000 total. The airfare is around 800 to 900, somewhere in there, depending on what the airlines feel like doing in the moment. And then the hotel is $50 a night. And food is, so it ends up costing total around $2,000 for 1 week. If you go both weeks, it's probably around $3,000. So, any questions?
Language, speak English, speak Spanish, speak.
As far as
the fact that if you went,
we always have translators. So the languages, you have to, if you don't, I mean, I've been trying to learn it on Duolingo and it does make a difference. It does help a little bit. But we also always have a translator, and many of the Hondurans, especially the Rotarians, are bilingual. Yeah, so language is not a barrier. To going anyway, yeah.
what's the weather like in February?
So they always claim they have seasons, but to me, I've been in February, March, April, June, and November. It's all the same. So it can vary. It can be the afternoon thunderstorm. It's usually in the mid 80s and quite humid. It can be up to the high 90s and quite humid. which case a cold beer and the air conditioning tastes really good. Right? It can be rainy, and that does become a problem. It appears to be becoming more rainy. And so getting to these villages is sometimes quite difficult because you have to deal with mud. So on this November trip, I made it on the week that it was really sunny. The week before had been raining and they got in a lot of messes. So I don't have an honest answer to that one. Because it varies, but mostly it's in the 80s and afternoon showers. Yeah. Any other questions?
So I think you mentioned it, but the trade schools and is there none, there's probably not enough work in those villages. They have to go outside their village.
Well, you know, so we'll see. The other thing that's happening, and every time you go, it's happening more and more. You go to a village and you see a really nice home, that money came from the United States. Okay, and it's happening more and more and more. So instead of and they can't find contractors. The other thing is there's a shortage. So can they be building these new homes in the villages surrounding them? The other thing is, yeah, maybe they, like here, right? A contractor has to go to wherever the job is, but they can come home at night.
Yeah.
And the money stays in the village, their income stays in their home. So I don't know that we know how this is gonna pan out.
Well, it's not just down there, it's everywhere. Trades.
Yeah.
Workers are on the short list. We need more everywhere, so.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Marty, explain for some of our newer members how this area was found, so to speak.
So Peter.
A bit about how IPA.
So Peter Martin retired and wanted to do something in Central America. And he and his wife were on a Mayan ruins tour. And there's a beautiful Mayan ruins. It's Copan, by the way. I've only been to that one, so I can't compare, but supposedly it's one of the best Mayan ruins. And I go every time because it's just beautiful. Anyhow, so they're doing a tour and they're in a Mayan village. And this little girl comes up and grabs Peter's hand and says, "Can I walk with you?" in perfect English. She happened to be going to the bilingual school. Somebody was sponsoring her. And so then he started looking at the area and found that at that time there weren't a lot of NGOs, non-government organizations working there. There was plenty of need. The dollar stretched there. The dollar is much better than here. It's worth 5 times the amount. And Copan itself has hotels and restaurants for us visitors. And then there's a Rotary Club. So Peter decides he wants to work in this area. He's like, how can I do this? It's just him, right? He finds Rotary. He joins Fidalgo Island. He goes, this is bigger than one club. And so that's when he started contacting the Skagit County clubs. And then from there it has grown. Did I leave any pieces out of that, James? You probably know that story inside out. So anyway, that's why the region. There are more and more NGOs coming to this area, so there's not competition, but sometimes duplication. And then also they tend to be to the villages that are closer to Copan. So some of these villages are not very far mile-wise, but they're an hour and a half out on serious 4-wheel drive roads. So we are also serving the more remote villages that a lot of NGOs don't get to. Yeah. So thank you. You guys have been part of it for a long time. Yeah.
So thank you for presenting today. I've been on and donated and.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, so you're working on the trade school thing.
Yeah.
Do you have something else coming in the future that you guys have?
We will be, the education piece it will never go away. So we will always be supplying school supplies to the students and the teachers. We'll always be supporting these kids through middle school, high school, and university, which includes school supplies.
Yeah.
The university, we're also working on computer work. So the college kids, they initially pay 40 lempiras, which is less than $2 in rent for the computer. If they graduate, the computer is theirs. And then we're starting to get support and put in computer labs in the high school. And now we're in the steps of how do we get computer labs into middle schools? The issue becomes more the middle schools are more spread out. They don't necessarily have Wi-Fi. They don't necessarily have electricity, and they need to be secure. So that's one of our next efforts. We take the VSLAs, we have to pay someone to go to the villages and train them. So that would be our next effort. So how do we spread the training that we've done? The schools will always need some form of maintenance, some form of construction. We've just taken care of a lot of the major pieces of that, providing water, electricity, roofs, furniture, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Any other questions?
I was working with the government. Do they,
We try to avoid it as much as possible.
is there interference from the government or?
Not directly. So for example, the furniture, let's just take school furniture, right? We have a school furniture project. We've picked the schools that need the furniture. The government has an election coming up. They promise the schools furniture. What we have to do is we sit and wait and see if they deliver. And then if they don't deliver furniture, then we'll put furniture in the school. Or if they do, okay, we find one that needs the furniture. And then sometimes they muck with the teachers. The latest problem, a couple of years ago, the teachers are paid by the government and assigned to the school by the government. And they took party allegiances into factor and moved teachers around. Anybody who was in the wrong party, they would put them in a school that was 30 minutes from their home, where they had been a teacher in this village for 15 years. And so that is a problem we're dealing with because we've established a relationship with the teachers and how it works and how to communicate with us, et cetera, et cetera. So that is one problem we have run into with the direct interference by the government. Yeah, so we do our best to work around that. Any other questions?
If we are interested in going, we would contact Mike.
Actually, you could contact me. Peter Martin is coordinating the trips. I don't have his email up there. You could contact me and I could forward it to him. Yeah, and the February trips tend to fill. So if you're thinking about February, now would be the time to reach out.
So my
Usually the
wife
first 2
and
weeks.
As I was telling you, my wife and I, while we were at church, you know how they always have it, like adopt a kid in whatever country. So my wife and I did that. We adopted 4 kids. And I don't know what possessed me, but at some point I decided to look into what the CEOs or whatever they're called, that these nonprofits make. And I was blown away at the one that our church had us, because they made, I guess the top 3 people made combined over $1.8 million salary a year. And for a nonprofit, that means they're taking money that could go to the kids. So I think, so we stopped doing it in lieu of we're gonna do this instead, because if you think about it, it's ran by volunteers. I mean, and it's ran by us essentially, right? So I think a lot of times when we donate money for a great cause, it's not all going to that cause. And so if you're doing those things, just look and see how, I mean, we used to give to St. Jude every year, and I don't do that anymore because of that, even though it's kids, and to me, kids are so important. So so my rant is follow the money, find out who's making what, and is your money really going to the kids as much as it could? And I think this is a massively huge, incredible opportunity to make sure that the money that you're donating actually gets to.
Yeah, 100% goes to, well, so we do have the 2 contractors. They are serving the kids. I mean, Cynthia oversees all the student health fund. Mauricio is fixing the schools. So we do pay them. I honestly was trying to remember how much we pay them.
Are they located in the country?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And then the only other cost is the transfer fee, the bank transfer fee to send the money down. We don't, anybody who travels there, you do it on your own dime. The Rotary IPA does not pay for anybody to go, including Peter, and he goes 4 times a year. So yeah. I think we pay, oh God, I should know this. It can't be 1,200 limp years. It might be 12,000 limp years a month. $300 to $400 a month is what we pay the contractors.
I feel like Brian, you make such a great point. I think it's very important for transparency and to be good stewards of your resources, right? And every company, not-for-profit, should absolutely do that. You had a little bit of a soapbox. I just feel like it's worth saying, though, a lot of times not-for-profits, just like businesses, have like different accounts where some of their money pays for lights and toilet paper, some of their money pays their employees and their CEOs, and then there's their fundraising money, where what percentage of that fund raised money goes to what they're saying? Is it 98%, 70%, 50%? So there's different accounts, so sometimes just trying to search out that information on your own and finding how much the CEO makes can be valuable, but sometimes there's more to it. And I just kind of wanted just to throw that out there.
Well, of course there is. I mean, the church is a business, right? At the end of the day, the church has bills too. So you still donate to the church with that in mind. However, when you start searching money for people that are supposed to run their organization,
Yeah,
that have a ton of volunteers,
yeah.
what do they really need to make that do? I mean, it's great, no offense, if we find out Anthony's making $250,000 a year, then we're taking, how much money should we be giving to the food bank? You know, it's
Well,
volunteer.
yeah, and that's not, yeah, and that's not our decision to make.
Well, it's my decision where my money's going.
100%, but when you give your $1 to the food bank, I mean, probably the food bank is giving that whole dollar back, and they're getting Anthony's money somewhere else. Just saying. I mean, that is how it works.
You can also always direct funds. So if you donate to the food bank and you say, I want this to go to food, I have to spend it.
Yeah.
And you can do that with any organization.
Can they also put it to Anthony?
No, you can't.
I have to actually
Anthony,
buy
if you're not making
buy
that
you
much,
dinner.
sure. You can make it.
Okay. Sorry for the sidebar.
That's okay, it's an interesting, so I'm done.
It is. I mean,
I'm done, so I don't need to say anymore.
You used to have a 3-year, minimum, is that?
So we do, well, so we do ask, like, if you sponsor a student, we would assign you a 7th grader and we hope you would get them through 9th grade. And then if they decided to go on to high school, we would hope that you would get them through 12th grade. When it comes to university, that's a whole different, because that's a whole different dollar sign also. But we're getting to the point where we'll just do it year by year. And if something happened, if you had a full intent of sponsoring a student for 3 years and something changes and you can't do it anymore, you can't do it anymore. It's not a written contract, which you're gonna, yeah. We do hope that you'll support the child. And we are doing our best that they are supposed to write letters to their sponsors. I think about half of the kids actually write a letter, and then we have a process to get them translated into the right person. So-
Yeah, I have an envelope on my counter at home this morning, so I'm supposed to bring it today, so. Some of us, I know you usually get one, Don.
Cool. That's good to know that it is
Yeah,
happening, because
it is.
not everybody's getting a letter from their student, but.
And
Don,
sometimes,
Don told his, he's gonna turn off the money if he doesn't get a letter.
and sometimes, Eve's and my student graduated from high school. And she did really well at school. And you get kind of, you don't get report cards, but you
Sure.
hear about it. You know, it's a small town.
Yeah.
And that's.
Is she gonna go on to university or?
Yeah, well, yeah, she was going back and forth between going to a major university. And I think she was going to study some form of agriculture, but
Mhm.
then she ended up going to a smaller college and studying business.
Well, good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 49 students in university. 5 years ago, we had none. 4 graduated last year. I mean, I think that's cool. Now, a university educated child is not gonna find an employment in the villages. So what will happen to that? That's a rhetorical question. I have wondered when we come back 20 years later, what will have happened to these villages? If educating these kids means they have to go elsewhere to be employed.
That's where the trade school comes in, really.
Yeah. And to train the adults. I think it's awesome to be offering education to the adults.
Would it be possible to get a PDF of that book? Or?
You know, I'm not sure if I have an electronic version.
Cause what I did, I scanned like 8 pages with ChatGPT to translate it out
So
to
did I.
Spanish.
Oh,
And
really?
So, but as I'm reading it, I'm like, I want my kids to experience what kids, like things that they accept like normal. Like one of the sections was like, you know, like literally don't be mean to girls.
Yeah.
Like, we don't, like, there's like, don't be mean to everybody, but we don't have like this. What could be crushing weight on these young ladies, and it's like, we don't even have to do that here, kids. Like the same way that they have to there.
Yeah, and you know, that one's a struggle for me in the sense that, when I've gone, most of the women to me actually seem to have the power.
Yeah.
You know, and they're the ones starting the small businesses in town. It's women-owned businesses. I mean, there are some men who own businesses, but, and I've never, but I'm also kind of naive to that stuff. I've never seen anything. There was only one woman I remember driving by her house going, oh, man. She just looked beat up and, yeah. But part of our, rapid development program is dressing the machismo. And one of the gentlemen came up to the trainer afterwards and said, I didn't know that there was another way to treat women. That it was like, oh, wow. But I don't know how prevalent that is. Is it really prevalent? It really could be. Or, yeah, so yes. Yeah. I think I'll have to look through my emails. I believe I might have an English version.
Oh, that'd be better.
Yeah, so I just need to figure out how to get it to you.
I will send you an email.
And then I'll get you Peter's email for the trip.
Yeah, do you have a card?
I do not. They are in my drawer at home.
You could rattle off your email to everybody and then.
Well, I don't know how to do that.
It's so
What is
easy.
it? So your email?
So my email, I could tell you that what it is right now. MC, I'm gonna spell it, MCCONLOGUE@msn.com. It was my husband's last name and I just never changed the email. But I kept P's for a reason. You can spell that out. Yeah, so if you email me and then I will email you with Peter's and I'll try to get the book to you and then you can distribute it. But I do believe I have an English version.
Thank you for what you do.
Yeah, yeah, you're welcome. Any other questions? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Any questions? Yeah, I'll get
Right off, let's leave it at the top.
No, you're still on it.
No, but I don't.
There's not the way they start. There's not like a tab.
Top and the bottom, I'm the bottom.
Right. Meeting adjourned.
That's.
I'm in the top.
No, I think you fall off the non.